Hello Simmers and welcome to my channel Simsational Builds. My name is Deb and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to do a sunken lounge within a pool, as you can see from those images from my Pinnacle Villa build. Now that one is available on the gallery. I'll put the details below. So we're going to need a couple of cheats today. We want bb.moveobjects on as well as bb.showhiddenobjects, which I'm just entering now. Now I'll show you two different versions of this pool lounge, an easy version as well as a slightly more complex one of being an above ground pool. Now first off, you're going to want to get your custom pool tool and create the shape of your pool itself, including the lounge area. You want the lounge area to be big enough to hold all your couches, etc., but not too large, otherwise it can start to look a little bit empty, but you can adjust all of those to suit what you want anyway. So first off, there's the area that we're going to have the lounge in, and you're going to get your terrain tool, your lower terrain tool, lower to height, and using control and close bracket you can adjust it so that it can be deep enough to hold all of your couches, etc. I also like to put it at the sharpest strength, I suppose, rather than being soft edges, and fill out that whole space so that there's only a 1 tile wide drop off, and that's where your stairs are going to be. Now the height itself, I like to get a dummy couch just to pop in there so I can make sure it's the correct height before I continue any further. It doesn't really matter which one, as they're all pretty similar heights there. So as you can see, that tucks in really nicely underneath the lip of that foundation there. I'm just going to fix up this bit on the edge. I just did it a little bit too wide. So again, using flatten to height, I'm just doing it the same height as the edges. Now you'll notice here that when you use a floor tile, it doesn't actually fill in the spaces directly next to the pool itself, so you'll have to use a terrain paint instead. And I like using the gravel one, but of course you can use any of the terrain paints that are available, and using that you can actually fill in the whole space right to the edges. So again, and then once you get the stairs, you can choose any stairs that you like, it doesn't really matter. Rotate them to be the correct position. Now you can put it like this, but I like to tuck them in a little bit more so that the bottom of the stairs are at the very edge of the sunken lounge or the pit or whatever you like to call it. So I like it to line up like so. Now again, you can use any lounges that you like, but I really like this, the minivan sofa from the university stuff pack. It's got a couple of nice swatches in there, and that one actually lines up perfectly, and you can fill up the entire space. So with the move objects on cheat, I can place them so that they overlap one another, so it looks like one gigantic lounge. Now there, it doesn't fit quite well, but again, the other thing I like about this particular sofa is that there is a matching armchair. There it is, the no nonsense wedge chair. Again, same swatches, same shape, so it just lines up perfectly. So I'm just filling up that last little space on the edge. And well, there you have it. Now you can put a coffee table or whatever in the middle to finish off your look. Just use this one here to match up that white. So that's the more simple version finished. So that one, as you can see, is nice and flush. The sofas aren't sticking up above the ground, and it's done. So now we're going to start the slightly more complicated one where the pool is above ground. Alright, now before we get into the above ground version, as you can see in my Pinnacle Villa build, that one has a glass side, and to get that you have to do your pool in a specific way. So if I just make a pool and drag it to be above ground, you've got that one there. But if I just next to it just create just the flat deck, or whatever you want to call it, flat square, and pull it up to a similar height. So as you notice, they both have the foundation sides to it, and if you use a normal foundation they'll work on both, but what I want to do is show you how to do the glass-sided one. Now, the proper tutorial for this one is actually by Kate Emerald, and I'll pop her link in the description below. But if I enter the cheat show hidden objects, you'll see that there's a grey foundation available in both City Living and base game. And if I click on that, you'll notice in a moment that on the deck side it works perfectly, but on the pool it does not. So I'll have to show you a way to get around it, because that's how we create the glass-sided look. So I'll just delete these two and just pop them there. So what we're going to need to do is, instead of starting with a pool, we're going to have to start with the flat square. You can also use the custom room tool as well, but I just find it easier to do this way with the flat square instead. So using that tool, you're just going to want to create the fake size of your pool. Again, you can adjust all this later as well as you go. So there's the shape of your pool, and then you're going to want to raise this up to be about the height of the walls itself, which will be the full depth of the pool. Now we're going to our pool tool, custom pool tool, and you want to create the shape of the pool, including the cutout section for the lounge itself. So again, I'm doing a really similar thing that I did the first time around. Just making sure it's all centered. And again, you can adjust this all if it's not too right. And I think this one's just a little bit too big, so I'm just going to pull it in just to make it the right size. Again, you just do whatever works for you and you'll build. So there's the rough shape of our lounge itself. So I'm just wanting to create a walkway or pathway on one side. Now, keeping in mind that this is built into a foundation, which means that your house actually has to be on the same level as this foundation to work. So there we go. There's that glass side, and it's a little bit too high. You can see the weird thing going underneath it. So if we just lower a bit, there we go. And same level as the ground. And we have an above ground glass pool. Again, check out Kate Emerald's tutorial for the full description and instructions on how to do this completely. It's just a quick one just to show you how to create the lounge. So there we've got the side, and that's our walkway, and then you can continue your house itself from there. Now, so to actually create the sunken lounge area, you're just going to use your custom room tool, and create and actually outline the shape of the cutout section. And this is also how you do a split level home as well, on another note. So I'm also cutting out the section that the stairs will be in, and then just deleting the floor itself. And there we go, you can see the actual sides of the foundation itself. Now we don't need these walls, so they're all going. Alright, now we've got the cutout, but it is really, really deep. It's of course going to be much too deep for what we need. So using the terrain tool, flatten to height again. Now using Control plus close bracket, you can adjust it to the correct height to fit in your lounge chairs again. So same way as we did before. At this point it's pretty much exactly the same. We've got the right height again. We get our correct lounge chairs, whichever one you like, and this one I think is a little bit too high still. Hang on, get the right one. Yeah, so here we can still see the height, the top of the lounge over the top of the pool, which I personally don't want. So I'm just lowering it by another level. Yep, there we go, and that should be perfect now. And there we are. And now I can continue as we did last time. So we can pop in our stairs. Again, any stairs will work here. All to do with whatever suits your build. And again, we're going to need to use the terrain paint to fill in the space. I'm not sure why it won't work directly next to the pool itself. It's one of those strange Sims things, I think. Okay, so we get our lounge chair again. use the black one this time. And again, with move objects on, we can create the nice flush lounge shape. And again, on that side, I'm just going to need to use the armchair one. And there we have it. Again, you can put whatever in the middle. Now this one here, because I use a different foundation type, you see the corners of it aren't matching up. So you just have to click Alt and drag it over slightly just to match up nicely in the corners again. So it just makes it look nice and flush and like it's all one piece. There we go. There you go. And there we have it. And this one, it's all nice and flush. You can see the top of the lounges line up perfectly with the top of the pool. And I'll just pop a fire pit or something in this one here. Now you can use any of them. There's a little bonfire, but I really like this one here. Just looks nice and neat and doesn't look like it belongs in a campsite. And there you have it, glass-sided above ground pool with the sunken lounge, or the in-ground version. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you like this tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope to see you again soon.